Hello there and welcome to the A.E.Mackintosh channel. This is something completely different today. I'm working with Paul. I've had to do a lot of paperwork, a lot of safety training, working at heights, working with harness, working on this roof, so we have to be harnessed on, and we're cleaning all of these skylights here, which are all well, there's a lot of algae on there and they're a little bit delicate. We're just wondering about doing a pre-treatment and then cleaning them with the pressure washer so we can use less pressure. So we're just trying a couple of different things just to make sure we can deal with them in the most sensitive way. So we're all harnessed up. We have to work from the harness and be tethered this whole time. So we're just using this clever little device here. Every time you get to an anchor point, it's literally like that. How good is that? Brilliant. We've got the pressure washing equipment set up at the bottom of the stairs where we gain access over there. We've got this whole other side to the building. There's the other side up here, and there's that other building over there. Got to do all those skylights as well. So it's all part of a initiative for the owners working the factory underneath. They want to make sure lots of natural light can come in for the benefit of their workers, the working environment for them. We're ready to go. We're like poised. And so the way I've got things set up here is a little bit confusing because we've got tethers coming down here that I'm tied to. So I've run the pressure hose coming round the bottom, so hopefully I don't get too tangled up with hoses, pressure hoses and ropes and harnesses and things. I'll be working over here on this side. This is the furthest point. On this side I've got to do these two here, and then I've got to work back that way towards Paul. He's just going to test that section over there, make sure everything is like we expect it to be. Should be fun. So here we are, day 2, the big roof cleanup. Paul's here, and we're just getting harnessed up, ready to go. A couple of issues we had yesterday. The main one being the water supply. The water pressure here is really, really low. We've got two 3 hoses, and then the pressure hose runs up the access here to the roof. We're going to start off on the very far side of the building today and kind of work our way back. Yesterday we did this near side all the way along this side and sort of halfway the other side of that. We think there's a chance we can get it done today because there's less setup time. Yesterday morning was a bit of messing around, finding out that we had poor hose pressure. So that's a real lesson. Any pressure washing job, whatever the job is, wherever you are, domestic, commercial, check they've got a good water supply and a good pressure. Because it doesn't matter how much equipment we've got, that's really slowed us down on this job. Where we were expecting to have 2 people working with pressure washers, we just haven't got the water supply to do that. So we're having to source 3 hoses just to keep 1 machine fed with water. And we're getting it done. So here we are, making good progress. Anyway, we've done all of that far side building now. So we're working our way back. So we've done the ones on this side, and these are the ones still to do. So I think we might be back just tomorrow morning to finish the last few off, possibly. And I've swapped over to use the flat surface cleaner now, the little Mossmatic. What I love about the flat surface cleaner is it covers the whole area nice and evenly, because you're keeping it at an even distance away from the surface. So even though you've got like the peaks and troughs of the corrugated surface here, it's a much better way. I much prefer it. I feel like I'm being much more methodical, much more sensitive to the surface. It's not too harsh. Whereas the Turbo Lancer is a bit more haphazard, it's a bit more intense. So it's much more difficult to get it even, and it's much more difficult to kind of make sure you're being gentle on the surface. The problem we've been having is that we're running out of water. Like, so I get just over halfway and the water in the buffer tank runs out. We've got 3 hoses from the factory all feeding the buffer tank, and that's still the situation. So we just get about 15-20 minutes of working time, then we get 10-15 minutes waiting for it to fill up before I can do the second half and then rinse the whole thing down. So that's the way we've been doing it. Nearly there. So here we are, me and Paul are just standing here admiring our work. When we look across here, from here, we can see everything we've cleaned, apart from down the other side there. All back here, we've just finished off these today. There's a couple down there at the end. And we've recommended that they have a regular fireside treatment.
Yeah.
Every 3-4 years to maintain the skylights, so they don't have to go through the intensive cleaning process again. But that's much better. Great job. Yes. The biggest issue is the water, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's for a job like this, you really need to get as much water as you can, because we could have taken out 30% of the time.
Yeah, because we were planning to do 2 guys on pressure washing, pressure cleaning.
Yeah.
And that would have halved the time. Overall, it's worked out okay, hasn't it?
Yeah, and they love it, so that's great.
So how did you get this job, Paul?
Well, believe it or not, bark.
So brilliant, you're still using bark?
Occasionally, I choose which ones to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'd seen the website, so they felt, okay, this guy's he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And they contacted me, and I had a look at it, and I thought, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
But there'll be some good learning to do.
We actually did some training for the job, didn't we? You've done working at heights training, harness training.
Yeah, I'm qualified for that, CITB, harness work.
Yeah, because this is all we've all had to be tethered for this whole job.
That's it. So when I put my estimate in, I made I spent a lot of time on the estimate detail process, and then the risk assessment, which would identify and quantify all of the risks at each stage, and then the method statement, which is the legal document, saying this is how I'm going to address all of those risks. Oh, and here is all of my accreditation to support that, and my insurance.
So that was a lot of the work, was in putting those things in place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they were impressed with that, and that's what won you the job, really. Yeah. So there's a good lesson there. Sometimes the health and safety stuff, we like roll our eyes, don't we? Like, do I really have to? But in this case, it showed you were competent and that you knew what you were doing. You were qualified to do the job. And that's what got you the job.
Yeah, and I would say, rather than think, oh, it's all the paperwork and process, think they have to pay for that.
Yeah.
So that's built into the charge.
Yeah, part of the cost, really. And this factory, they make engines for Aston Martin. It's really cool. Yeah. So every time I go in there to the toilet, it's like they're making V12 engines. You see them all being made.
I want one.
So a big thing for the factory was that they look after their workers, that they bring in lots of light into the factory. So that was a big part of the reason why they wanted it done, wasn't it? Having a good working environment for the factory.
That's it.
Yeah, so there we go. And they were impressed? They've been pleased?
Yeah, very, And they've now asked me to provide a price for cleaning out all of the gutters, which would be fun.
Yeah.
And doing maintenance on this regularly. So I'm happy with that, and that's a straightforward towards to retirement.
Excellent. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. We'll be back.